returning from 92.9 The Game in Atlanta, also host on the SDH network. It is Madison Crews. We're talking about Juventus here, Maddie, and the North American,
Your microphone's on mute, though, Madison.
With Weston McKennie, Tim Weah, and then we've got Jonathan David. Good times for North American football, right?
Great times. It's always great times for North American football. It's really fun, especially too with the USA making it to the final of the Gold Cup as well. They'll face Mexico once again. Another very heated rivalry. It's one that I've circled on my calendar as well to make sure that we're rested and ready to go after we finish up everything with Club World Cup here in Atlanta on Saturday and Atlanta United as well. A busy weekend.
do you have some time off coming up? Like after this, are you taking a week or so off?
See, unfortunately, no. Just because as soon as this is done, we got Toronto next week, and I'm traveling for that one for United. So we'll be
nice.
We'll be there. Atlanta United Unified's play, and I call those matches with Jason Longshore. So that'll be that early, I believe. I think that's the tentative plan, early in the morning, and then it'll be Toronto, Atlanta United in the evening.
Yeah, no news around TFC these days, so it'll be a quiet affair, I'm sure. Nothing happening there. But yeah, let's talk about this US men's team. Listen, we spoke last week, Maddie, and we're saying potentially this could be a great build up to a Canada US match, or it could be one of us mocking each other. Turns out you can mock us for crashing out to Guatemala, the States into another final. Do you get the sense that a corner's been turned here under Mauricio Pochettino?
Yeah, I think so. I know that there was a lot of conversation, especially heading into this Gold Cup, about the players that were missing, about who was missing, some of the controversy back and forth there. I was very excited to see this new squad come forward because of the new faces we would see. I'm gonna say it again. Diego Luna is an absolute beast. I have no idea. He might be insane, but honestly, I kind of like that he's insane. And it's my favorite thing in the world. He's been incredible. I think he's very unique player, which he's just so different. Like the second goal that he shot, I don't think you have any other player, I think, in that squad who is going to be making that shot and finding the back of the net. I think Diego Luna is so interesting and he's so unique, and I love that he's wearing the US men's national team kit. I really have loved to see him. I think he's broken through. Alex Freeman, who is with Orlando City, he's a homegrown there. He's been outstanding, I think, in that right back role. I think he has been outstanding. He's had so many great moments. I really have enjoyed him when I've seen him with Orlando City. Anytime we play him against Atlanta United, I'm always like, oh no. I'm like, that's not going to be good. And now I'm glad that he's wearing a U.S. men's kit, so I can be like, yes, go Alex Freeman. And it's great. I can cheer him on. I think he's been great. And then also, I think I said it even last time I was on here, Matt Freese. I really think he's been outstanding. I think he needs a little bit more of okay, how does he handle the pressure? And I think we're going to see that on Sunday. How does he handle the pressure? Because a perfect matchup to test these guys is none other than U.S. versus Mexico in a Gold Cup final. That is the pinnacle of a testing ground to see how these players handle pressure, because a lot of these guys are in MLS. They've been in those must-win situations in those knockout rounds in the MLS Cup, but this is a little bit different. It's a different level. So how do they manage the pressure? They were able to manage it against Guatemala, and I think they handled it well. People look at the stats and they're like, oh, well, Guatemala outshot us. It's like, yes, we did take the lead early in the first half, and then Guatemala was putting all the numbers forward and we're going forward, and full credit to Guatemala. They're a very good side. I'm really hoping that they make a push to the World Cup, because I think they would be such a great addition. And also too, I mean, their fans as well. I mean, the entire stadium last night, I believe, was majority Guatemalans, and that was incredible because I loved it. It was really fun to watch, and it was really cool. How did the team manage in that environment? And they managed it pretty well.
Yeah, we know all about that, playing in front of non-partisan Canadian crowds here in Canada. It's nice once in a while, Jimmy Craig, but it gets tiresome after a while. When again is Guatemala or El Salvador, it's Mexico.
It's tough as a player. It's tough, but you do admire them. The support that Guatemala, El Salvador, Panama, Honduras, they get some incredible support in the United States for their games and in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always so fun. I always enjoy it. And I know a lot of people are like, it should be more like USA or it should be more like Canada. And I'm like, honestly, like I love it. I love seeing like I met so many different people, so many different cultures come forward and just celebrate the game. And I think it's just so fun. I always really enjoy it. I was very excited. I think when I was watching the Canadian Guatemala match, I really didn't know, because a part of me was like, okay, I was like, what's going to get us good content on Footy Prime if we all get to come on and talk about the men's national team in the Canada match? But I also I really enjoyed the way Guatemala plays. It's actually really funny. There is a Georgia tie actually for the Guatemalan team. Lom, he played at Calhoun High School, and he was a star at Calhoun High School up here in Georgia. And so that was a really cool tie. I saw the last name when he stepped up to take the penalty, and I was like, I know you. And then
wait, you recognize a player from a high school soccer?
Yeah, well, so it was a part of it was Jason. Jason informed me as well, but I do remember hearing because he was I believe a huge star up here in Calhoun High School. What he did at the men's soccer program there. But yeah, that was pretty cool getting to see that connection as well. And it was like, oh wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
You know, Amy's always been our biggest soccer nerd on this show, but now we might have a new one.
Huge nerd.
It might be
This Madison woman is a big nerd.
It's just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So looking at this US squad, though, I mean, listen, we know it's not the full strength squad. A lot of stars are missing, but here we are in another Gold Cup final. So it will be a different looking squad for the World Cup. But is there a player or two that you didn't expect to maybe push for that World Cup squad that might now actually be someone that, yeah, you know what, you can see them being picked?
Ooh. I think there's a few. I think a few have pushed it. And I think it goes back even to the conversation. Jason Longshore and I had a conversation on AST last night as well. We talked about just a lot of the players that we saw in that matchup. I think Diego Luna is a perfect example. I'll say it again. I think he really has stepped up, and I think he's kind of put in a name and be like, hey, I'm here. Let's go. What do you want me to do? I'm ready. And I love that. I think we need an energy like that, and I think he brings that. Alex Freeman, I do think, has pushed for it. I think he's getting there. Arston as well. I know there's been a lot of back and forth on Arston. I thought he had a good game last night. I thought he played really well. I thought he managed it pretty well. And then again, I will also throw out one too that a lot of people maybe will disagree with me on. I think Patrick Agyemang has done okay. I know a lot of people are not liking that he hasn't been scoring, getting in those positions, but sometimes it's not about getting in the right positions. It's doing enough to help draw somebody else into that position to help get the opportunity to score. And that's what Patrick Agyemang can do. And I think he's been given opportunities. I think he's been unlucky in some of those moments. There was one shot last night that he had that Guatemala was just really good, and we're able to slide in and defend it, and we're able to get the corner from it. And that's just good defending from Guatemala to stop that opportunity, because you know how strong Patrick Agyemang can be. And I think he's been unlucky at times, but I don't think to discredit that just, but he hasn't been scoring. I think he's been pretty good. I haven't seen an issue with him. I think I need to see more from Patrick Agyemang to see a little bit more for that push to be there. But I do think that it's a conversation to be had. Diego Luna is one for me that really sticks out. And then Matt Freese. I think that goalkeeper position is really going to be tight. I think once Matt Turner gets to a club and he starts getting very consistent minutes, I think that conversation changes. I think then we're looking at, you got Matt Freese, and then you have Matt Turner. What's that looking like now? But right now, I think just from what I've seen, I really like Matt Freese. I think he's definitely pushing for it. I'm interested to see how he handles the pressure going into this matchup on Sunday against Mexico, because it is a really perfect opportunity to test a lot of these guys in a really high pressure situation, in a really interesting matchup. We all know the Mexico-US men's national team rivalry. We know how competitive and how crazy it can be at times. And how do you manage the emotion? How do you manage the pressure? That's an element of the game that I don't think anyone's going to be talking about. How does both teams manage the emotion of the game? How do they keep their heads in those moments? And how do you come out and, win the whole thing?
Yeah, because it's going to be a pro-Mexican crowd. It's going to be very, very high intensity. And do you get the sense that the players in this squad feel that there's an opening for them to potentially get into that squad for 26? There must be a sense of that because of where the U.S. has been and some of the results and some of the turmoil and everything else that's going around it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think you're always trying to, buy through. And I think that's one thing that I give full credit to Mauricio Pochettino as well as Emma Hayes too. I think they have done a great job of, I think, allowing a lot of the young players who are in the mix for the USA to get an opportunity to come up and play for their national team. You notice it a lot with Emma Hayes, and I can get into the U.S. women's national team if you want me to. I've loved what Emma Hayes has done with the squad. I think she's brought up a lot of veterans to come in with Naomi Girma and Emily Sonnet, Lavelle, but then also allowing a lot of young players to really shine in that moment. Yasmin Ryan has been one that I've been really impressed with. And you're seeing a lot of younger talent and some new faces that we haven't seen from the U.S. men's national team. I think that's the same thing with the U.S. men's national team. I think it's different situations. It's the U.S. women are obviously playing in just friendlies right now, just trying to get filled up roster, figure out what those pieces look like. For the U.S. men's national team, I think it's the same thing. Pochettino is looking at these guys, and there's got to be a conversation of we're gunning to try to make this squad for the World Cup because it's on home soil and the Gold Cup's an opportunity, and there are players who are pushing that line, who are really making a name and saying, hey, like, look at me, like, I'm ready to go. I'm like, you put me in a situation and I'm going to be ready. And that's what I love about it. And I think that's it. That's what you love about it. It's good competition. It's competition for everyone. It sets the bar of, okay, like there's a level here. There's a competition. Let's try to push it to the next level. That way we can get there. And then who makes the squad? I hope it's Diego Luna. I really do love Diego Luna. I say it every time. He was incredible. He's just insane, and I love it.
Craig and Jimmy always talk about winning, solving everything. And this might be the perfect example of that. All the drama. Poch this week was connected to Brentford. Everyone's saying, what's this guy up to? Looking a little nefarious. If all that was true, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. But if you wanted to spin negatively, could have easily been said. All of a sudden they're in the final. Does it matter that Pulisic isn't there? Does it matter that, some of the players who needed a break took a break? And actually, this could be great for the U.S. men's national team in development, in seeing people under pressure across the board. And Poch is all of a sudden, if they win this thing, he looks like a Italian genius, like literally sitting there going, hey,
even if he's not Italian.
Yeah, well, he's Argentinian, right? Yeah. He's Italian Argentinian genius. But doesn't it change all of a sudden the narrative, which is actually the most exciting thing?
I think so. And I think that was the thing for me, like, especially heading into this journey, especially with this roster, there was a lot of turmoil, especially at the very beginning. And I really wasn't focused on it because I honestly didn't think a lot of it was really fully in malice. Obviously, there was quotes from Pochettino about not bringing in Pulisic for those two friendlies as well. And I said it to you guys, like, I didn't see anything wrong with what he said. Like, I was like, yeah, like, you don't want to have a player come in just to be in two friendlies when that can be another slot to have come in and help build a roster to help possibly make it to the Gold Cup final, which it worked. You're now here with the squad that works. And I think the same thing too with obviously the Pochettino, the rumors with Brentford. He came out and said, I have no idea what that was about, which as he should. Like, it's like, it's like, I didn't see any real like backing with the rumor either. And so, but Pochettino, I've said it, I really love the way that he manages the game, the way that he looks at the game, how he views the game. He's very intelligent as a head coach. And yeah, I think definitely you're looking at this squad, you're looking at what he brought together, and you're almost looking at like, yeah, like, look at this, look what we were able to do. Like, look what we were able to do. Look at the squad we brought in. Look at these new faces that are really shining through and are becoming real staples in the U.S. men's national team. Mm-hmm. And we did that. And now we're going up against Mexico. We're going up against another rival. How does it change? And I think a lot of the conversation, I think it's going to be interesting to see what the conversation is after this matchup on Sunday. I think it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. Because I think we all know, especially in soccer, and I've noticed it even here in soccer North America, it tends to be very, if it's never good, it's always negative. And I think if we don't win this game on Sunday, I think you'll see a lot of conversation about it being very negative, about, oh, we were missing this, that this was not wrong, this was bad and everything. But if we win, it's going to be like, oh my goodness, we're amazing. We did this. This is we're going to see a lot of that. And I don't like that. I think if you're going to look at the way that this whole Gold Cup roster turned out, I mean, there's a lot of positives to take from it, no matter what happens. I think you saw so many bright stars come forward. You saw a new wave of generation to come through and really stand forward. I also think you've seen a lot of veterans step up. Tyler Adams really impressed me. And a lot of people were like, we haven't heard from Tyler Adams. Is that a good thing? Yes, it's a very good thing because he's a defensive midfielder. You don't want to hear about his name ever. You want him to be very steady. I don't want to hear his name a lot because that means he's doing his job. And that's perfect. And I love Tyler Adams. I think he actually could make a running to be a captain on this team. I really like his gameplay and what he stands for the U.S. men's national team. I think he just brings it. Like just the reaction you see after the match last night, him going up to players, being very like, let's go, let's keep this going. Like, I love that. And I love that he brings that as well. And it's going to be really fun on Sunday. I'm very interested for it. And, obviously it's US Mexico. It's going to be heated and it's going to be fun.
So true. In North American Canada, especially, there's two seasons, right? There's ecstasy and there's misery.
Yep.
There's nothing in between.
Yep.
Sometimes just be happy. Just be, things are going okay. It's progress. And I think if the States beat Mexico, that's going to give so much more weight to Pochettino. And if there's any issues him and Pulisic, I think it might just go away at that point because everyone's happy. Yeah, you won. Put it behind you. Obviously, he's going to be a huge part of the squad. He's still the captain, time being anyway. What pains me to admit, though, is that a strong Canada, a strong Mexico is good for CONCACAF. We'd much rather, it wouldn't be every year here. I know, kind of boring again. Mexico against the States in the Gold Cup final. But here we are once again. Can you give us your prediction in that one?
Ooh. Oh, gosh. I don't know. It's always interesting, especially when you look at a matchup between USA and Mexico. I never know how it's going to pan out. I think Mexico has been really solid. Watching their game against Honduras last night, I think they played really well. I'm trying to think where I want to go. You know what? So that's where my initial thought went. But I think I'll tell you this. I think it's going to be 3-2. I think it's going to be USA, and I'm going to give the game winner to Diego Luna, and it's going to be an extra time.
You like Luna, huh?
It's going to be an extra time, and I think that's when it's going to happen.
She loves his frosted tips. Let's be honest, Madison.
Yeah.
He is chaotic, and I love it. He is absolute chaos, just in one human being, and it's incredible. I think it'll be 3-2. I think it'll take going into extra time, though. I think it'll be very, very competitive throughout the entire 90. It'll be 2-2. We'll get to extra time, and I think it'll be a sort of game winner, Diego Luna from outside the 18. He'll just launch it. And
Let's hope so. I mean, listen, that'd be a great finish and
it'd be great.
a great match, right? Yeah, exactly. We'll watch it through gritted teeth.
Yeah, and it makes you feel any better. I actually thought that Schaffelberg's second yellow was a little bit. I didn't agree with it. I won't lie to you. I was watching it. I was on the phone with my dad as we were like kind of watching it, and he was like, you get your first yellow, it's like, okay, whatever. And then the second yellow came like 5 minutes afterwards, and we both were like, that's a little harsh, just a little bit. Like, I was like, I don't know if I would have, but like, it's one of those, like, it's the long time story. It's like, you don't put yourself in the position to do it, but to your credit, I didn't think he deserved that second yellow.
Well, I appreciate that. It's CONCACAF, you don't do it, right? Because they're just waiting to hand out those cards. So.
Yeah.
Frustrating as it was. Before we let you go here, Maddie, I want to just quickly get your thoughts on last night's US smashing of Canada, 3-0 at Audi Field. Could have been worse, right? I mean, Kaylin Sheridan had, I think, 5 saves on top of that. The States were very, very good, or was it a case of Canada just not finding their game?
I think it was just, I think the USA has been very solid. And we all were a little bit interested to see how this new US women's national team would face out, especially with a lot of the younger faces that we saw. And I think that it's the same conversation too. You have a lot of young girls who are coming in who are like, I want an opportunity. Their World Cup is only 2 years away. It's like, I want an opportunity to be a part of this squad because you're still going to have, the Lindsay Horan. You're still going to have Naomi Girma, Emily Sani. You're going to have a lot of those players who are still going to be in that mix. But you have a lot of young players who are stepping up being like, hey, look at me. I'm here too. Like, look what I can do. And that's really, really, really fun. It's been fun to watch. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed seeing the young talent and everything along those lines as well. I think Canada has a very good squad. I think they have a very good squad. I think last night it was just the way it was handled. I think it was one of those where the USA got control of the game. They took it by the scruff and then they just held on. and they were able to just to ride with it all the way through. I think Canada's a great squad. I'm really excited to see what they're able to put out, especially as we get closer to the World Cup as well. It's always fun. It also was very nice that it wasn't, torrential downpouring and the ball could actually roll, which was very nice. That was very fun to actually get the chance to watch a game where like the ball wouldn't just like move like 2 feet and then you're like, oh, okay, it's still there. But yeah, those games are always so fun. Especially too, but I think with Emma Hayes and what she's done, especially bringing in a lot of these younger squad, it makes you really excited for what the U.S. Women's National Team has going forward.
Who's helping Emma Hayes as far as scouting goes and players coming in? Because obviously she can't have her fingers in all these pies around the country. So is she obviously has a good supporting cast and probably several Americans, is she in her coaching staff?
I believe so. Let me do a little quick Google search as well. I know that there's like a lot of, I don't know, like honestly, how she finds the talent, I have no idea. She's a miracle worker in every single way. She's insane. Yeah, I do love her. She's insane. I really love bringing her on as well. I always admired her as a coach. I think the way that she handles the game as well, her time with Chelsea and then coming here to the US, I think she has a spunk about her and I really love it. And she comes in just so unapologetically herself and I love it. And I think you need that. You need someone who can be authentic and can be real and can also make the hard choices. Emma Hayes is not a coach that's not going to just say, oh, well, I have this veteran player, I'm going to play them. No, If she has a younger player that's better, like she's going to say, yeah, you're playing. And trust me, it's going to work out. And it will work out. And I'll be like, yes, Emma Hayes, I trust you. Because she has a way of viewing the game that I think is so, it comes with experience and she brings it. And that's, I think, what I love seeing with this new U.S. Women's National Team is seeing a lot of those players that maybe you wouldn't have realized. And that's what I've loved about this specific window is we've seen a lot of people really recognizing it's a lot of the unsung heroes, I think, of the U.S. Women's National Team. Emily Sonnet, Naomi Girma, Rose Lavelle finally getting back to the squad. I mean, Rose Lavelle last night, I think, nutmegged somebody, and everyone was like, oh, Rose Lavelle's back. And it was like, yep, she is back. But you saw a lot of the players that maybe you don't really take for granted a little bit. Sam Coffey as well. You kind of look at those players and you're like, oh, like, they're there, like, they're cool, but you don't realize how big of an impact they have. And you're like, whoa. You're like, okay. Like, I'll say it. I love Naomi Girma. I think she's one of the best center backs ever. She's incredible. Like, she is so solid back there, and I love that she's been able to wear the captain's armband. But yeah, I think Emma Hayes, what she's built, I think, for the U.S. Women's National Team in such the short time she's been here is a testament to, I think, what she brings to us. And that is really, really fun.
It's all about normalizing the football world, right? So the US women are going to win the World Cup now in 2 years' time, and the men are going to win the Gold Cup on Sunday. And it's like, okay, that's the way things should be in North America, I guess. So here we are. Just Madison, thank you so much. You're great. Really appreciate this. We'll get you on again real soon. You can follow Madison at Madison Crews. That's CREWS7 on Instagram and X. And we will get you on hopefully very soon to talk some Atlanta. Because MLS back in action, and obviously TFC coming up as well. We want to find out about. We want to go to Atlanta and take in a game there because it looks fantastic.
Oh, it's incredible. It is very incredible. Sometimes I feel like I take what we have here in Atlanta with Mercedes-Benz. I saw a TikTok of someone from, I think, England coming to watch like a Club World Cup game and just being in awe. And like I think I sit there and I'm like, oh, that's just the Benz. Like it's like and I feel like I take it like almost like for granted. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is my stadium. Like this is like 30 minutes down the road for me. Like it's like, whoa.
It's amazing. It's been such a great story.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, listen, come on up. We'll have some time with the SDH. We'll have a great time. We'll show you the ropes. We'll show you the ropes. We'll show you everything.
Done. We'll put it on the list.
Brew house. We'll have to take it to brew house.
Oh yeah. Oh, we like brew houses.
Brew house is great. Brew house is great. It is incredible. It's actually a really, really fun little bar area down at like Little 5 Points in Atlanta. It's great. They have watch parties for Atlanta United,
cool.
USA, everything incredible. So
we've been known to imbibe over time, certain occasions. So we will for sure. Madison, thank you so much. We love this. We'll chat to you soon.